Externally in the paddock, I think there's a lot of talk about you guys going extremely well here, and perhaps the team are optimistic. What would be a good showing this weekend for you?
Well, who's hyping us up?
There are podcasts and people talking in the media and thinking this could be the weekend for Lewis and George.
I love the optimism. I don't feel that we feel that it could be the weekend. I hope that we're going to find out tomorrow, but we'll hopefully make a small step again. But the small steps are just small increments every time. It's not the 3 or 4 tenths that the deficit that we currently have to the other guys. But we will be, hopefully, I'm hoping we're going to be a little bit closer. But we don't know what the others will bring. Maybe the others bring upgrades again also. So we'll find out. And plus it's hot, so maybe the race condition, maybe we can be closer. Or who knows? I do feel optimistic in these, particularly in these 2 races where we've been strong here in the past and we've been strong in Budapest in the past. But, the Ferrari is going to be hard to beat in Budapest, I think. They have a little bit more downforce than us, but I stay hopeful.
Nicky, upgrades this weekend. What have they promised you?
Well, that I'm for sure going to have the upgrades this weekend. I guess that's the most important one for sure. Obviously the past 2 races, not having them, I guess more specifically last weekend with, let's say, proper running for both cars, we were able to kind of see what the differences were. And yeah, there was some positive signs for sure. It's definitely brought more lap time, maybe a few changes in characteristics as well. But I'm obviously looking forward to getting that. I know it's going to bring performance, so it's just, this weekend is going to be about, adapting on my side of what I might need to change. I've from feedback of Alex, I've obviously been listening, feedback from the team as well. And as well, we might have to set up the car slightly different to compensate for certain things. But I'm quite looking forward to getting that extra little boost of performance that it brings.
Yeah, I can imagine. And Alex actually told me earlier that there are still a few unknowns, there's still a few kind of almost negatives that might just be a characteristic of the package. So what does that mean for your run plan over the course of the weekend's practice sessions?
I don't really think it'll change much in the way of how we, let's say, set our run plan. I think naturally there's just going to be much more learning that's going to be taking place during the normal runs that we do. I've heard some of Alex's feedback, and I know he's said it in the media as well. In some ways maybe it's a little bit trickier to drive, but you do have more downforce, which is obviously the key thing, and I think that obviously is the predominant factor in bringing lap time for these cars. So I guess it's just making sure we are putting the car in a window, and I'm driving the car in a way that we are using it in that window where there is more downforce. Let's say this track, if anything, is going to tend to potentially highlight those negative pitfalls if there's a track that's going to highlight them, just because it's so exposed, normally open and exposed to the winds. So we'll see. But at the same time, I think this is a good track to test it out for that reason. And as well, there is obviously a lot of consequences for getting things wrong here. So I think it's a good track to kind of have the first go at it.
And just finally, the weather, it's hot for us as humans, but it's hot for the car and for the tyres. How do you think it's going to affect Sunday's race strategy?
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite tricky for everybody, to be honest. We've had a few races this year that have been very, very high, both ambient temperatures and track temperatures. And this one, as you said, on Sunday, it's expected to be maybe one of the hottest ones of the years if it goes around that 39, 40 degrees. But tires, I think naturally that goes without saying. Always the tire management. This historically has kind of been a one-stop race, so stretching them out is going to be tricky with that front left that especially takes a beating. But then just all the other kinds of temperatures, the engine temperatures, brake temperatures, and whatnot. We've seen people struggling at a lot of other races with similar temperatures, so I suspect there could be some issues there. So we just, it's not that we're not going to be without the issues either. So we just have to try and manage it the best we can. Just be there to capitalize if it is a slight race of attrition in that case.
Points.
That's the plan, that's the goal, that's what we're pushing for. I think with this new upgrade package, there'll be more races now than not where maybe that extra few tenths that we get is going to make the difference now. So, let's see what we can do.
I've heard that there are upgrades this weekend for you.
You've heard or seen?
I've heard.
Oh, okay.
When I think a lot of people thought you guys weren't really going to be adding to the car this year. So what can you tell us about what's going to be on the car this weekend?
Oh, it's going to make us so much quicker. We could be in the fight with Red Bull and Ferrari this weekend. That's about it.
You're pranking me.
I wish. No, I am, yes. I wish I wasn't pranking you.
Double negative.
No, we have a few new things on the car this weekend, but they're things which have been in the pipeline for a long time. So I think from what we're trying to develop from now on is what's a bit more limited, and what we have to be quite careful with from the budget cap side of things. But this upgrade, if you have an upgrade now, it's something that's been designed and made or that's been in the pipeline already for months. So it was always the plan to have something here. So hopefully it can work well and can bring us a bit more performance, and we can fight the Baskin-Robin cars over there.
And in terms of this track, to do that fighting on, is it one that's going to be okay for you, and then taking into consideration the temperature?
I think in the past, like from my side as a driver, it's kind of suited me quite well, and I've always seemed to do quite well here. And I enjoyed it at the same time. Especially I think my race last year was a lot of fun. I did a different strategy, and therefore I had to race through and have a lot of fun on track. So I'm hoping that this weekend can be something similar. But it's a different year, we've struggled a bit more so far comparing to previous seasons, so we'll have to wait until we're on track to understand.